make our way over in front of the church. Catherine, the church. Thank you all for coming tonight. My name is Sue Bryant, and I'm the historian. Hey, I see a lot of familiar faces, so I know a lot of you have been with these tours before. And again, thank you for coming back. We have Catherine here. She is our medium. We have, of course, you've all met Denise. She's with Gypsy Moon. And we have Calvin and Amanda from Coldspotters, and they're our paranormal investigators. So what we're going to be doing tonight is I'm going to be telling you a little bit about the history of this cemetery and a few of the stories of the people who are buried here. So now that we got here, we're going to go across the street. And we're going to make sure that everybody look both ways.
One reason to go to the cemetery permanently.
Gravestone. It has been replaced over the years. Typically of this time frame, it would be looking something like this, with granite stone. Now at some point it was replaced, I'm not sure when. You see, 1885. This is considered the first grave, or the first person that was buried here. So Joseph Figg, he was a gentleman that came from England. He was quite young, as you can see, when he passed, relatively. He was in his, I think, 40s, if I'm counting correctly. So, yeah. So I'm like, math was never my strong point. So Joseph, he had 8 children, and when his wife was pregnant, and again we had big families back then, when his wife was pregnant with twins, she passed in childbirth. So now this man has all these children. What are you going to do? He decides, I'm going to go to Canada where they'll give me some land, because they were basically giving land away at that point. And there's stories behind there, and we certainly acknowledge it's not the way we do things now, but they were giving this land. He came out here to try and make a go of it, and then he would send for his children. So his children actually went into care for a little while he tried to figure out something here. He started to do okay. He built a log cabin. He was logging. Now again, we talked about those huge trees. He had these huge trees on his property, and that's what he was trying to log. He had a bee operation going on, and he was trying to build the second story of his cabin, and he needed to fell this huge tree. Now, how do you think about now? How do you when you have this things that are around in 1885? How do you get rid of those? How do you take down a tree? That's 100 feet tall? That's So what they would do is they would chisel into the bottom of the root, put in little fires, and let it smoke and burn until it eventually came loose enough that they could knock it over. Very dangerous, and unfortunately, in poor Joseph's situation, extremely dangerous, because it fell on his cabin. So he passed away, unfortunately, on Christmas Eve, 1885. Very sad.
Did his kids ever make it over here?
And so his eldest son decided that he would go and see where did Dad go, what happened. So he came out here and he began to make a life for himself. And this is kind of the cool part of the story, is that Walter Figg, his son, ended up being one of the first counselors here and started to make a big difference in the community and started to grow. He brought his other brother out, his Charles came, and he became another counselor in Delta, and they again started this community. So while it was very tragic that those children lost both their parents at young ages, Walter was 18 at this time, so he was considered an adult I guess it's adult now, but still very much so an adult in England in 1885. But he made the trip over here, again, not knowing what he was going to find. I mean, you think about the bravery that would have taken. Your dad's been killed, and you got to figure something out, and he made his way over here. He made a better life for himself. So we sort of honored Joseph Figg in the fact that although his life was cut short, his plan in life really brought a lot to the area.
Traditionally, graveyards too were meant to come and visit in like a park atmosphere. So a lot of people do still have those beliefs, and this family did. They came here for a picnic. They brought their kids because it was a safe place. Tons of area and room. So the kids were playing around. They had their picnic. At the end of the picnic, they lifted all their kids up and they put them up in the tree. So they were all sitting there side by side, and they took some pictures. Now, this would have been before all our camera phones and all that fun stuff. So they went home and went to London Drugs or Black's or wherever and got their pictures developed. And in the picture, there's one extra child. And there was
Oh my.
no. You're my favorite.
I know.
But yes, there was no rhyme or reason that there would be an extra child in that picture. It's not like anyone could, because they did have to actually physically lift the kids up into the tree. So usually when we're here, we do kind of do a little tour around there, try to do some EVP work. We were able to get some K2 hits there. I'm taking a lot of pictures, but I have not caught the extra child yet. But anytime you're here, I do welcome you to go, because that was a pretty cool story. So I don't have the picture though, unfortunately.
You got to bring a kid to attract the kid.
Yes.
There we go.
Everyone go home,
thing.
get your children. On Friday night, take them to the graveyard. Just bring me with you. Yeah, so that's our ghost story for this place.